There are some people out there who absolutely cannot see the value in bonds with animals. They think they are stupid, silly creatures who can't possibly understand what a human understands. But those people are wrong. Animals might not be as smart as us humans, but a lot of them definitely have the ability to understand special things like bonds, friendships, and maybe even love. If you think humans and animals can't be friends, then this list is certainly going to prove you wrong. Because these are 10 unusual friendships between humans and wild animals. Keep watching to find out which animal makes number 1. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can keep up to date with all our latest and most exciting content. Shirley and Tony. Not a lot of people would look at a baby hippo and think, yeah, I want that one. Despite staying mostly in water, hippos can attack you. And if you're lucky enough, you might have the chance to escape. Because hippos aren't the friendliest of creatures. But that's exactly what happened with kind couple Shirley and Tony. They found a little hippo who had been separated from her mother, and that was when the friendship started. They called her Jessica, and thankfully Tony knew exactly how to look after the hippo. He knew how to make formula for the newborn, with the couple treating the hippo like a baby. Jessica isn't held in captivity, and Shirley has said that if the hippo really wanted to take off and leave, she could. But no matter what, Jessica always comes back to the river she lives in, one that's close to Shirley and Tony, so they could come and watch over the hippo whenever they want. The hippo sometimes even comes to Shirley and Tony's house, where she literally sleeps on the porch with their pet dog. Amazing. Lisa Jenkins. Dingoes are wild dogs found in Australia, and most people know to keep right away from them. They're dangerous and have been known to kill humans. So why would anyone want one as a pet, especially when they can kill you? That's a question to ask Lisa Jenkins. Lisa admits that even though she knows that dingoes are just as wild and dangerous as tigers, she still keeps them in her house. She even sleeps with them some nights. The two dingoes have proven to be pretty close, but they also appear to have one with the owner, Lisa. Lisa does admit that keeping dingoes is a lot of hard work, because they're not like regular dogs. No, they're literally wild dogs that can kill those around them with ease. Even though she knows that fact, she keeps the dogs around. Despite how totally unpredictable the dingoes can be, Lisa insists that she has a bond with the two wild dogs. It just proves that no matter how different you are, you can be friends with anyone if you try hard enough. Kevin Richardson. Have you ever heard of a human becoming friends with a hyena? Probably not. Zookeeper Kevin Richardson decided to defy all odds and be that person who becomes friends with a hyena. Even though the animal is often labeled as dangerous, terrifying, and constantly on the prowl, Kevin wasn't all that bothered. He just wanted to be friends with the animal despite their bad reputation. Over the years, Kevin has gotten very close to hyenas. So close that they even give him hugs. While most humans would probably be dead on the spot, there must be something special about the man. Kevin has no fear at all and pets and cuddles with these dangerous animals, proving that friendships can happen anywhere if we really want them to. Cheeto. When you think of crocodiles, you think of terrifying red-eyed creatures. And that's because most of them are like that. A lot of crocodiles will eat you alive if they get the chance, but not the sweet kind Pocho. Who's Pocho? He was a crocodile that measured in at an amazing 5 meters long. And 20 years ago, he was suffering from a very bad injury. He was laying in the Paris-Mina River, lying on the bank after a farmer had shot him. That was when Cheeto came along, a friendly local man who helped the crocodile and saved the animal's life. When the crocodile was finally better, Cheeto took him back to the river, letting the crocodile go. But Pocho followed him home. After that, with a new bond quickly growing, the human and animal spent hours and hours playing and swimming in the nearby river. Pocho even responded when Cheeto called out his name. Talk about amazing. Salinda. Neymal is a baby elephant who was unfortunately abandoned. To make things even worse for the poor elephant, he lost part of his leg thanks to a trap. And because of that, life can be a little hard for him. He doesn't get to play with all the other elephants, meaning he doesn't get the kind of social interaction that all elephants need. Because of that, returning to the wild might not be an option for poor Neymal. Neymal does have his friendly keeper though. Salinda helps look after the elephant, which includes washing Namal and just generally being around him. Because Namal doesn't interact with other elephants all too often, Salinda is the only real social bonding he has, meaning they've created a pretty strong friendship. The two spend their days together in a sanctuary that is dedicated to helping and looking after other orphaned elephants. And even if Namal does have some struggles, he does have Salinda right there by his side. Salinda is a great friend to the elephant and helps Namal as best as he can. Damien Aspinall. A long time ago, a gorilla was born in an English wildlife park. That gorilla was called Queeby, and that wildlife park belonged to conservationist Damien Aspinall. Once the gorilla was old enough, it was eventually released into the wild and was taken to Gabon, West Africa. It was assumed that the gorilla had forgotten all about Damien, but the man still traveled to Gabon 5 years later to try and find Queeby. They searched for hours and hours, wondering if the animal would even react to the man in a good way. During their long search, Queeby suddenly appeared on the side of the river Damien was traveling on. So what happened when Damien got close enough to see the gorilla? Queeby reacted with love and sat right down with Damien, touching and holding him and pulling the man in closer. The gorilla even appeared to smile at Damien as Damien fed him. If this isn't pure friendship, we don't know what is. Jane Goodall. Chimpanzees can be dangerous. They can be life-threatening too. And there have been stories of chimps going wild and completely mauling their owners. But Jane Goodall isn't afraid of chimps at all. In fact, she even lets the animals play with her hair while she just sits there. Thanks to Jane, we've been able to learn a lot about chimps, since she spent literally decades out in the forests of Tanzania observing them. Jane is very, very close to chimps, and in one of her books, she even created a family scrapbook containing photos of the animals. Jane believes that each chimp she has come across has been different, and that they all have their own unique personalities, just like us humans. Jane even went as far as naming her chimp friends, and she calls a couple of them Fifi and David Greybeard. All in all, if it wasn't for Jane and her close friendship with the animals, there's a lot we wouldn't know about chimps. Casey Anderson. Casey Anderson always seemed to have a close connection with animals. A lot of us humans think that, but not all of us go as far as to interact with bears. And not just interact with them, but befriend them as well. Grizzly bears are one of the most dangerous creatures out there, but Casey didn't let that stop him from befriending the 800-pound Brutus. It all began when Casey stumbled upon Brutus, who was lying next to his dead mother. It was a sad sight in the mountains, but Casey helped the cub and looked after him. Eventually, Brutus got bigger and bigger and could no longer be kept in the home. So he established a sanctuary for the animal. Ever since then, the human and bear have been attached at the hip and nothing can pull them away from each other. Brutus was even Casey's best man at his wedding, proving their undying friendship. Frickie von Scholms. What should you do when you see a lion? Run? Scream? Sit there and cry? Most of us would freak out upon finding a lion. But Frickie von Scholms was completely calm and cool when he met Zion. To be fair, Zion was only a little lion cub when he and Frickie met, but that didn't stop their friendship from growing. The lion cub's mother couldn't be found, so it was Frickie who took care of the little animal. There were some nights where they even slept in the same bed. Now the years have passed and Zion is all grown up, but Frickie isn't going anywhere. He still takes the lion out on walks, and the two seem to see each other just about every day. Even though the lion can very easily pounce and hurt Frickie, Frickie doesn't seem to mind at all. The man somehow tamed one of the wildest animals on earth. Abdullah Shola. Do you want to be friends with a tiger? Probably not. We know for a fact that they can be wildly dangerous, and it's best to just keep away from them altogether. But Abdullah Shola had no plans on doing that, and he's been friends with a tiger for over a decade. It began when Abdullah would simply look after the baby tiger when the cub was only 3 months old. But as the years went by, their friendship grew, and soon they became closer and closer. Sometimes the two of them even go to sleep in the same enclosure, which is solid proof of just how close they are. While most people would be killed the second a tiger looked at them, Mulan, Abdullah's tiger, instead plays with the man. They play fight and even kiss, doing things that no one ever really sees a tiger do. Abdullah has said that he does his best to understand the tiger's mood and feelings in order to live with her, showing just how much he cares for the tiger. And that's the 10 most unusual friendships between humans and wild animals. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.